Bombers stationed at Diego Garcia and warships converging on West Asia. Washington is flexing its military muscle. Tehran vows retaliation, setting the stage for a dangerous showdown in an already volatile region. Our next story gives you all the details.
The stakes couldn't be higher. Iran and the US are locking horns. Both sides are gearing up for what looks like a dangerous confrontation. US President Donald Trump has issued a stark warning to Iran: sign a nuclear deal or face bombing, the likes of which they have never seen before. And Trump's threat isn't just rhetoric. The US has moved stealth B-2 bombers to Diego Garcia, a strategic base in the Indian Ocean, capable of launching precision strikes on Iran's underground nuclear facilities. In these satellite images, 6 B-2 bombers can be seen. That's 30% of the US Air Force's stealth bomber fleet. These bombers can carry 70,000 kilograms of munitions designed to penetrate reinforced targets.
The U.S. under Trump has been trying to negotiate with Iran over its rapidly advancing nuclear program. Trump even sent a letter to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, but the Iranians wrote back saying that they did not want to have direct negotiations, but rather indirect talks with the United States. Indirect talks under the Biden administration, however, really didn't go anywhere. So the Trump administration might be using these B-2s, this deployment, as a means by which to push the Iranians towards negotiations.
The US is also adding more firepower to its already strong military presence in the region. The Carl Vinson aircraft carrier is joining USS Harry S. Truman in West Asia, further amplifying American presence in the region. Pentagon officials assert that these deployments aim to deter aggression and protect regional stability. Iran remains resolute despite mounting pressure. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei dismissed Trump's threats, warning that any mischief would be met with a strong reciprocal blow. Tehran has showcased its underground missile cities and advanced ballistic capabilities, sending a clear message that it is prepared to defend itself.
The Americans have at least 10 bases and 50,000 forces near Iran. This means they are sitting in a glass room. Someone sitting in a glass room would not throw rocks at others.
Iranian officials have even hinted at accelerating their nuclear program if attacked, a chilling prospect given their ability to produce weapons-grade uranium within weeks. The announcement comes as US forces hammer Yemen's Houthi rebels with near-daily airstrikes in a campaign aimed at ending the threat they pose to civilian shipping and military vessels in the region. France warns that a military confrontation is almost inevitable if Iran nuclear talks fail. Moscow warns that targeting Iran's nuclear sites could trigger catastrophic consequences. America's key Gulf allies, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Kuwait, have refused to permit the use of their air bases or airspace for any potential US military operations against Iran. As the US builds up its military presence and Gulf states distance themselves from confrontation, Iran's defiance signals that any misstep could ignite a larger conflict. The stakes are higher than ever, and West Asia remains a powder keg, waiting for a spark. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 5. It reads, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments roll in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad, with another edification through the power and spirit of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai. Alright, so first and foremost, Kal Halayim La Alahaya Nawa Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakaha Kodash Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone at Ruel. Alright, double salutations unto the brothers who preaching and teaching the truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so now more than ever. Alright, shalom unto the speckled Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwat, which is his sisters, that listening and learning. This lesson is entitled, Now, Can You See It? Yeah? Can you see it? Can you actually see the works of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and his intended purpose of what he intends to do? Alright. To bring these nations down and set up his rightful rulership at the fall of these nations, especially the nation of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and their stronghold, their capital city, which is America, Babylon the Great. Can you see it? Can you see all what is taking place? Alright? Can you see the end? Because best believe this is the end. This is the end. Alright? More so, this is the day. This is the time that the day is coming. The day of doom is fastly, yeah? Fastly, quickly approaching. Alright? Quickly approaching. You understand? This is what it is. The day of doom. Yeah? Let's take a look at that. 2nd Ezra chapter 7. Alright? Verse 43. 2nd Ezra 7 and 43, where it reads, But the day of doom, alright, the day of doom shall be the end of this time, this age that we are living in. And it is going to come by the way of thermal nuclear fire, thermal nuclear warfare amongst these nuclear armed nations. Alright? And the beginning of the immortality for to come. Alright? Where the children of Israel, the children of Israel will be given that rulership, that rightful rulership. Alright? That time of immortality where we will be given new bodies and whatnot, so forth. Alright? And ruling in righteousness. But before that is to come, alright, the day of doom has to take place first. Great destruction has to take place first in order for a whole new reset of a whole new kingdom is to come into place. Alright? So it says, on the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past, intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off. Alright? Infidelity is cut off. No more of us, the children of Israel, worshipping idols and whatnot, so forth. Alright? And going on to other gods. But seeking and leaning unto our one and true power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Alright? Righteousness is grown and truth, okay, and truth is sprung up. Okay? This is what it is. This is what it is. Okay? This place, this world is about to go up. When I say this world, this age is about to go up in oblivion. Alright? And it is fastly approaching. Alright? This is what it is here. It is fastly approaching. Right now, as we speak, let's go to Jeremiah 50. And I would read the scripture and explain something here. And go to scripture to back it up. Jeremiah 50. And I will start at 22. Jeremiah 50 and 22, where it reads, "A sound of battle is in the land, alright, and of great destruction." And what is that land it is speaking about? It is speaking about America. Alright, verse 23. "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?" Alright, so America is that hammer of the whole earth. Alright, everybody has to dance to the tune of America. Proof in point, your boy Biden, your boy Trump, and other previous past presidents. Alright, what is their rhetoric to this day? Iran must not be nuclear armed. We cannot have a nuclear armed Iran. If Iran does not come to terms, come to negotiations with us, Iran will suffer bombings the likes as the earth has never seen. Who gives them the authority to who should have nuclear armament, to who should not have? Who has given them the authority? You understand? This is what it is. This is what it is. Who gave them the authority to carry out the policies of the earth? It just goes to show who is the hammer of the earth. Alright? Verse 24. The point where I'm looking to get at, where it says, "I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord." Now, I've been saying this as of lately from time to time, through the Spirit, pursuant to this scripture. Alright, I believe that Iran is that trap. Alright, Iran is that trap that the Lord had set, that the Lord had purposely put out in order to ensnare, in order to trap Babylon the Great, in order to trap Babylon the Great by the least of the flock, which is I think is the same 40. Let me see. Yep, this very same chapter. Jumping down to verse 45. Jeremiah 50:45, where it reads, "Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Babylon, and his purpose that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans, which is America. Surely the least of the flock, which is Amalek, which is those Israelis, those Ish people, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them." Desolate with them, which means the Lord is not only going to destroy America, but he is also going to destroy the land of Israel by the way of thermal nuclear fire. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and a cry is heard among the nations. This is what it is. Iran is that trap. And Israel is going to draw America in that trap, in that snare. Again, remember General Wesley Clark? Let's see if I can get that. Take a look at this.
Right after 9/11, about 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me. And one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, "No." He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we got a good military and we can take down governments." And he said, "I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail." Well, I came back to see him a few weeks later.
Yeah? Yeah. They are the hammer and everything has to look like a nail. Come on. We just read the scripture. How is the hammer broken asunder? The hammer of the earth broken asunder. Yeah? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Bible couldn't get more real as it is, boy. Anyhow.
And by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper. He said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense office today. And he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran." I said, "Is it classified?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Well, don't show it to me." And I saw him a year or so ago, and I said, "You remember that?" He said, "Sir, I didn't show you that memo. I didn't show it to you."
I'm sorry, what did you say his name was?
I'm not going to give you his name.
So go through the countries again.
Well, starting with Iraq, then Syria and Lebanon, then Libya, then Somalia and Sudan, and then back to Iran. So when you look at Iran, you say, is it a replay? It's not exactly a replay, but here's the truth. That Iran from the beginning has seen that the presence of the United States in Iraq was a threat. A blessing, because we took out Saddam Hussein and the Baathists. They couldn't handle them. We took care of it for them. But also a threat because they knew that they were next on the hit list. And so, of course, they got engaged. They lost 1 million people during the war with Iraq. And they've got a long and unprotectable, unsecurable border. So it was in their vital interest to be deeply involved inside Iraq. They tolerated our attacks on the Baathists. They were happy we captured Saddam Hussein, but they're building up their own network of influence, and to cement it, they occasionally give some military assistance and training and advice, either directly or indirectly, to both the insurgents and to the militias. And in that sense, it's not exactly parallel, because there has been, I believe, continuous Iranian engagement. Some of it legitimate, some of it illegitimate. I mean, you can hardly fault Iran because they're offering to do eye operations for Iraqis who need medical attention.
All right, so I don't want to go through all that. All right, you need to go through all that. But the reason why I played that there, all right, was pursuant to the 7 countries. All right, and the last out of that 7 there, the last that was to fall was Syria, was Assad. All right, the last to fall was Assad. Now, with Assad out of the picture, all right, with Assad out of the picture, they are now more emboldened, they are more brazen to go out, full out, to literally attack Iran without using any proxy armies, right, any proxy militias and what have you, so forth, but to go out, full out, all right, with their military, whether it be the Navy, with their military, the Navy, with a full complement of the Navy, Air Force, all right, Marines, to storm the beachheads, all right, and the Army. All right, this is what it is. This is what it is. Iran is that trap. So you see it now, bear with me. So you see it now, okay? You see it now where the work and the word of the Lord is coming to fruition, because now you have naval groups, naval units, so to speak, all right, by the way of battleships, by the way of carriers, and I'm sure it has one or two submarines also, all right, because you have to, a carrier, a aircraft carrier cannot just be there out there on its own. You have to have destroyers and battleships and what have you, so forth, and submarines, in order to protect the carrier, because the carrier, an aircraft carrier, is a great asset, is a serious asset, very important asset within your Navy. All right, so that is the first stage there, the Navy, and then the second stage is the Air Force, all right, where they have the stealth bombers in that particular island there in the Indian Ocean, the Diego Garcia Island or something like that. It's named Diego Garcia or something like that, all right. And these bombers is not there for show. These bombers is there for business. They're not going to spend all that money, all right, all that money to fly these bombers over there just to have them there for show. So what you're having is the prophecy of Joel. Excuse the background, because on the plantation, and you know, they're doing the work, they're cutting the grass and what have you, so forth. All right, so Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. All right, Joel chapter 2 and verse 20, where it reads, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army, which is America, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate." And that land that is barren and desolate is Saudi Arabia. All right, the land, the place where the Lord said, pursuant to Joel chapter 3. Let's go to Joel chapter 3, and I will come back to it, where it says, Joel chapter 3 and 1, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I will bring again the captivity of Judah and of Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat," all right, which is Saudi Arabia, all right, "and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." So now, when I come back to this very set scripture here, Joel 2 and 20, where it says, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army, America, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea." All right, that EC, it is speaking about, oh gosh, oh Lord, the EC, the Persian Gulf. All right, the Persian Gulf. Okay, that the EC there is speaking about the Persian Gulf, because remember, Iran is the target. Okay. All right, so I had us to move into another position here. All right, but nevertheless, all right. So it says here. All right, with his face towards the East Sea, all right, which is the Persian Gulf, because I said you have to remember, Iran is the target. Iran is the target. All right, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea, all right, which is the Red Sea, all right, which is the Red Sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. So, hey, pursuant to the first scripture that I had read, all right, pursuant to the first scripture that I had read, let's go back to it, which is the Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5, all right, where it says, for every, Isaiah 9 and 5, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, all right, and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire, all right. Hey, World War III is going to be the most ferocious, atrocious, yeah, ferocious and atrocious battle to ever be fought in the history of mankind. World War III is going to be the most ferocious and atrocious battle to be fought in the history of mankind. The world is not going to ever see another battle again such as World War III. You hear what I'm telling you? The world is not going to see a battle again in its lifetime such as World War III. And to top it off, to put the icing on the cake, let's go back to Joel 2. But this time, one, icing on the cake will be the destruction entirely, in its entirety, the land of America, which is Babylon the Great. Joel chapter 2 and 1, it reads, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in the holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. What land is that? America. For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, thermonuclear fallout. All right? As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall it be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Why, Lord? A fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden, which is America, yeah? Yeah? Why it is as the Garden of Eden? All right, the cities, the great cities and whatnot, so forth, that they had built over the blood, sweat, and tears. All right, free labor of the children of Israel, both northern and southern kingdom. You understand? Both northern and southern kingdom of the nation of Israel. All right? Take a look at all the cities, all the lights and what have you, so forth. All the places to go and sightsee and whatnot, so forth. Yeah? It says, a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and before them a desolate wilderness. Yeah? I'm still like, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, nothing shall escape. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses and horsemen, so shall they run, which is speaking about the missiles, the warheads. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains, shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. All right? All right? Which is these missiles. Okay? Before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. These people, hey, in Babylon the Great, they're gonna get the shock of their judgment lives. Yeah? They're gonna get the shock of their lives, man. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. All right? That wall it is speaking about the missile defense systems and whatnot, so forth. Okay? These missiles is going to there is no missile. When the Lord put the Spirit upon those warheads, there is no missile defense system and what they call it again, and satellites and whatnot, so forth, that is going to disrupt the flight paths of these missiles, these warheads that is going to land ferociously on America, Babylon the Great. All right? They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. All right? They shall not break their ranks. There is no missile defense system, no THAAD, no iron sling, no Iron Dome, no David sling, no this, no that, no the other, that is going to interrupt the flight paths. All right? No laser technology, nothing is going to disrupt the flight path of these missiles, these warheads. All right? Neither shall one trust one another. All right? They're not going to crash into one another and whatnot, so forth. And no, because the scripture speaks of 200 million missiles, which is actually the warheads. 200 million warheads is going to fall upon America to turn it into a desolate land, a desert, a literal desert. All right? Neither shall the one trust another. They shall walk every one in his path. All right? Wherever it is coordinated to go, it is going to go without hindrance. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run up. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. All right, which means they're going to go out. When they launch, they're going to go out of Earth atmosphere and come right back into Earth atmosphere. They're going to go out of Earth atmosphere and disassemble and whatnot, so forth. And the re-entry vehicles of these warheads, of these missiles, is going to bring it right back into Earth atmosphere. All right, for it to go to its intended target. All right. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, which is the nuclear fallout. All right? And the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? Who can abide it? You understand? Hey, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is not playing, man. He is not playing. All right? The Lord did not have these scientists. Hey, let's go to that, man. Isaiah 54, I think it's 54 and 16. Yeah, Isaiah 54 and 16, where it reads, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals and the fire. Who is the smith? Those scientists. Yeah? Those scientists. The Lord had created the smith to blow the coals and the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. I have created the waster to destroy. And who is the waster? Esau, Edom. Hey, the Lord created Esau, Edom, and put it in their mind for them to bring forth such an instrument to bring forth their own destruction. Yeah? Their own destruction. That the end of their time shall come through them. Yeah, they're going to bring their own destruction by the way of their own inventions. Yeah? This is what it is. This is what it is, man. Yeah? This is what it is. Hey, Iran is going to revoke the fatwa, the Ayatollah. The Ayatollah is going to revoke their fatwa, and they are going to create those missiles, those thermal nuclear missiles, and there is nothing America could do about it. And they are going to waste the land of America by thermal nuclear fire. Iran is going to, they are going to be nuclear armed. They will be nuclear armed because it is the purpose of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Just read 2nd Ezra. Let's go there. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 28. You all think Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is playing? 2nd Ezra 15:28. Behold, an horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots. Yeah? Yeah? And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also, the Carmanians. Who are the Carmanians? Who are the Carmanians? Go do your research. The Carmanians are the Iranians. So this scripture here, it just backs up Ezekiel chapter 38. Yeah? Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. Yeah? And with great, and when you look at wild boars, when you study wild boars are they are a very aggressive creature. Go and do your research on wild boars and what have you so forth. They are very, very, very aggressive. You understand? And this is what the Lord is going to put that aggressive spirit upon Iran to destroy America. First they're going to destroy them on the battlefield, you understand? And then they're going to destroy them via their land, destroy their land by the way of thermal nuclear missiles. Watch and you go see something, man. Yeah? Watch and you shall see something. Yeah? So it says here, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them. Yeah? Who is the them? The Arabs and China and North Korea and what have you so forth. Russia. Alright? And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, which is America. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Yeah? To persecute them. Then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings, man. This is what it is. The Lord is about to bring death and destruction upon America, man. Death and destruction upon America. Yeah? Via the trap that he had set, which is Iran. As I say, through the Spirit, I am convinced that Iran is that trap that the Lord had set, and they was not aware, because within their mind, the 6 countries out of the 7 that they have managed to bring down, all right, they have embraced them more proud. They are more emboldened, more proud. That's why the Lord says thou most proud, he's going to destroy them. All right, pursuant to that same Jeremiah chapter 50. All right, from 25 go all the way down. I can't read that right now because I pressed for time on the plantation. All right, this is what it is, man. This is what it is. But I will come with this last scripture here. which is Revelation chapter 16. And verse 12 I will start at. Revelation 16 and 12. Revelation 16 and 12, where it reads, Revelation 16 and 12, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up. Prophecy, 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 prophecy. The Euphrates River is dried up. It is dried up. Prophecy, prophecy, prophecy. That the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What a time to be living in. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, which is America. Alright? And out of the mouth of the beast. Alright? Which is England. Okay? Because this is speaking about the 3 city-states. This is speaking about the 3 city-states, America, England, and the Vatican, which is the false prophet. Alright, but the beast is not the Vatican. The beast is not the Vatican. The beast is not the Roman Catholic Church. That is a whole bunch of lies. The Roman Catholic Church is the false prophet. The beast, alright, is the European Union and NATO. Alright, the European Union and NATO. Nevertheless, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles which go forth unto the kings of the earth, alright, and of the whole world to gather them to battle, to the battle of the great day of Yahweh Almighty. Behold, I come as a thief. This is supposed to be in red letter, you know. Let me change that and put that in red. Alright. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they shall see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, which is Armageddon. Alright? Which means mountain of troops. Alright? Mountain of troops. The seventh angel, verse 17, and the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since the men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. What caused that earthquake? The missiles. The thermal nuclear missiles. That's what it is. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. Alright? So, what is going to take place when those missiles start to shoot through the ends of the earth? It is going to cause a great tsunami. Alright? It is going to cause one of the greatest tsunami ever known to mankind, that it is going to literally shift the world. It is going to literally create a new world map. Let's just put it that way. Alright? It's not going to see no more Trinidad and Jamaica and Haiti, Dominican Republic, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Montserrat, Puerto Rico. The list goes on and on. The Lord is going to destroy this place in such a way. It ain't funny. Verse 19. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon, which is America, great Babylon came in remembrance before Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai. Yeah? Came in remembrance to give unto her the cup of the wine of his fierceness, of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. Alright? And there fell upon man. Oh, I now notice what I had done. But I small thing. I was so in the spirit. But I small thing. Yeah? Verse 21. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven. Alright? Which is the missiles. Alright? A great hail out of heaven. Every stone about the weight of a talent, and men blaspheme Yahweh because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. Exceeding great. Hey, death and destruction is going to fall upon the land of America by the wrath of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Plain and simple. Can you see it? Kal Halayam, La Alahayanawa Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakaha Kodash. Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone Natural Well. Double salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more than ever for this truth. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwal. Alright? This is a brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp signing out, saying Kal Halayam, La Alahayanawa Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Akakodash Shalom Yasharala Shalom. We almost out of this place, man. Yeah, Yasharala, we almost out of this place. Kwam Yasharala, Abad Wa Abad Babal.